Let's see if this is working. Test, test, test. Hold on. Oh, we're going live. Twitter's so weird now. It's like hard to see, hard to know if it's live, hard to know if it's not live. Anyway, I think we're live. Let me see. Let me check with what's it called? Hold on. You have audio, no video, Anthony, with the Alpha team. Correct? All right, well, you guys can watch it on. Tell me, guys, go to Twitter and see if you can see it. Give me a thumbs up so I know I'm not talking to myself. Anyway, it's 8:58. It is September 29th. It's been a week. Wow, right? A lot of volatility, a lot of motion, a lot of ways to make money, lose money. This is the type of spot where everybody kind of looks back and says, "Oh, I should have done this. I could have done that." Hopefully, that's the case. So you see me on Twitter and you can learn from it. We all have to learn. We're all learning as we go, right? Even though I've been doing this now since 1997, I'm still learning as I go. We all make mistakes too. So with that said, if you do remember though, into this move on Wednesday, I put out a few charts saying, hey, that midday felt like we finally had a little fear, a little acceleration. If you remember, that's when they kind of sold the event of Meta around 1 o'clock, and that created a nice little flush, right? A little flush, and then we came back up, took back the 200-day, took back 42.73, and then yesterday I thought it was interesting because they didn't give you a big gap up, which meaning you had to take overnight risk because that reversal wasn't so great. So PS, you had some time to buy a few things, that were acting well. There's like an order now of what's acting well and what's getting an oversold bounce and where we're at. So PS, if you did so, I know a bunch of us took some longs into today, even though we had a binary event. It was at 8:30. I just felt as if we'd have some upside follow through into this resistance zone. So now we're here, right? It's 8:59. If you look at the SPYs are, 431.53, right in the middle or in the lower end of this compelling resistance area. So anyway, what area is that here? That's kind of like this, getting close to this 43.35, 43.38 spot, which isn't really the test. The neckline of this head and shoulders top pattern is more like a test of this 43.75-ish area. So into this area, from 42.38 to 43.38, the oscillator that was minus 55 that gave you at least a little help if you were playing an oversold bounce is going back to neutral. So that means we're not oversold anymore. Doesn't mean you can just blindly short it, because sometimes they can bring the oscillator to plus 40. It all depends on what you're in and how you're doing it. So this would be a spot to lighten up at first kiss and then see what's next. Some are like, Red Dog, did I miss my chance to, because you didn't buy tier 2 of your blood on the street account? No, I didn't buy tier 2 of my blood on the street account because on this day, we went from 42.38 back above 40 handles. And the way that account works is at Bright House, I have to get the closing print. So didn't do it. So am I going to be able to revisit that and get that print at some point in October? We shall see. If you look at the weekly chart, it held where it had to. I posted this chart a bunch of times, right? Held right into this, this one spot. I was hoping we'd get a little bit lower, and we didn't. If you think the 10-year is going to 5% plus, chances are we're still going to get another chance at that. Yeah, I'll show you more on the SPYs. I think that's what, it held that trend line perfectly. My zone to buy, actually that day on Wednesday, I put bids in the SPYs from 422.5 down to 418. I was hoping we would get a little bit more sloppy and see 418, but it didn't happen. We just saw 422.22. So in the hole, I was only able to buy a little that day. And then yesterday was your day to react fast. So now if you look here, we kind of broke down right here, 431, 433, which is where we are right now. So a likely spot to reduce a little bit, but doesn't mean it can't push a little bit more, especially if we don't get a government shutdown. Then that would probably give us a little bit of an emotional lift, etc. But anyway, there's a chance that he hit this spot, and then this is 440 where we broke. So this is one zone, and then this would be like a real big zone where the sellers need to, reject price. But that's probably a next week's story. Right now, this week's story or today's story is this 431.50 to 433. Go back to the daily chart here, you'll see it. this is that spot. I was like, you know what, we could probably see this and see that, and all of a sudden that's where we are. Do we all become millionaires in that trade? It was not that easy. So you always, kind of want to learn from that. What gave us some clues of yesterday's strength? Well, the TLTs also did a red dog reversal. Guys, what's a red dog reversal? You guys know what a red dog reversal is. I've taught this for years. Where you come from 93.50 all the way down, it trades below 88.09, puts a new low in. This low now is 87.10. That's your new point of reference. 87.10, reclaims it, and gives you a little bit of an oversold bounce, which is what that was. So that helped. We've been watching the TLTs. The market's been going kind of tick by tick, and now the TLTs is giving you a little bit upside follow through. So it's up 43 cents, 89.11. Here's the 8-day closer to 90. So it could see a move to the 8-day and still wind up getting rejected. So, but you have a lot of space between the low to there. So if that's the case, there's a little bit more room in equities. If you think this 10-year is going to get to 5%, which it probably could, right? I think the year-end rate that they're pricing in with the dot plot is like 5.4%. So chances are, it could hold somewhere around here. And if we go back to 5%, then we get another chance at this week's lows in a week or two ahead. But we'll see. We'll go day by day, week by week. If you want to look at the names that are acting best in high beta tech land, Meta is actually, I'm long Meta coming in today. Yesterday, I've already trimmed some. I'm going to hold some. Yesterday, it cleared this 395 to 306, and right now Meta is showing relative strength. It never really pulled in, and it's trading right now at 308 and a quarter. So with that said, there's room between 306 and 312. So at this point, I have less on, and we'll see if I could sit in it and see how it goes if this market wants to continue. So that's like probably at a FANG, that's probably the best looking one. Everything else is just like a range trade. You could have range traded Apple. Apple was awesome to the short and the long side. What do I mean? Well, if you look at Apple, right? Apple broke this 173.50, right? It broke it earlier in the week, gave you some clues that we're going to go low. They needed Apple to go down in order to, to flush out the market also. And then what happened? So if you made money short, you then had a what? Oh, look at this, another red dog reversal. It went below 169.05, hit 167.64, came back above it, and now it's opening a bit this morning. Would I be buying Apple into this 172.50? No. Would I be fading it? I think it's probably a better fade if they have a sloppy push and it goes up towards 173-ish. This spot would probably be really hard to get back above and probably a short at first kiss. So that would be something that if we do get a push, you probably could make some money shorting from 173 to 174 tactically this morning if it sees it. But again, good short, 3 days down, and then even a better long, and you're getting paid. So two-way action during range-bound markets. Sometimes you look at it like, wow, look how easy that is. It's never really that easy, but I get it. By the way, these are all level 2s. I have 6 monitors. On one of my monitors, I have like 8 level 2s, which is my old school eyes. I have to look at the inside action. Anyway, let's go back to here. So Apple was a two-way trade, not acting special. I don't think Tesla's acting special either. Tesla is just a two-way trade. It has deliveries coming out. Lots of different ways to play this too, where here's where I lost 271 special status, lost a trend line, and then held above Wednesday's low yesterday, and now Tesla's up 4 and change. I would say that 250-ish if you're long it because it held up well yesterday, trim some, and I think look at all these moving averages right here. I would think that probably is a decent short into 254 if it sees it, probably, or or it might not even get there, if that's what you like to do. But if you're long it, I would trim some. I don't think Tesla's just gonna be back, and just know what you could do also going into the weekend because deliveries are on Sundays or on this Sunday, not Sundays. I won't have any position on it. I have no FOMO right now in Tesla. It's just back and forth range-bound trading. Same thing with this market for now. If you want to go to the semis, AMD was a great trade. Okay, a lot of guys made really good money. Why? Because you had a red dog reversal on Monday. Look at all these red dog reversals. Google red dog reversal. There's 10 different lessons. It's a great tactical way to make money where your risk is calculated in a market like this. And then, so that was that. And then you had an inside day when the market was making lows. And then look how it perked up on Wednesday ahead of the market. So it was already like powerful the day the market hit its low. Then yesterday cleared 99.23. But look at this major downtrend line. I came in long AMD. Okay. I have already taken it off because I'm like, it's up 2%. Where should you, look to maybe if you're looking to be cute and short it? This 106 area is definitely, an area that the whole world sees. So sometimes it pushes above, or sometimes and comes back below, or maybe it finally breaks that. That'll give us some clues that some things are being let go. Yesterday, NVIDIA broke above this 428. I listed the chart on the public Twitter sphere also. I usually put like 2-3 charts on the public Twitter. In Red Laurel Access, I do about 35. And the alpha team gets 35. Some were pointing to a bear flag. That's why you had some shorts trapped. Instead, it took out 428. That should be in your spot to cover. Whereas NVIDIA now, look at that, pushing up 438.60. This is a big spot, this 440-ish. So if you went out long because it closed above this spot, congratulations, trim some. If you're looking to fade, just know that this is probably the most powerful stock. It's been a leader this whole time. This 440-ish area is where the moving averages should reject price if the sellers have control. If the sellers don't have control, it's going to blast through there. But that's a more compelling spot. In tapes like this, you want to make sure you're not doing things in no man's land. Buying before levels that you could trade around it and get a little, little leeway, or shorting into an area that is not compelling because it could push you higher, you can get out, and then all of a sudden you're right an hour later. That's happened a bunch of times. And then in high beta tech land, you just have some, actually Google has been trading better, but I wouldn't be buying it on this up open today either. I actually caught the low in Amazon yesterday. Why? Hey, look at that, another red dog reversal. Push below 124.13 after a move from 145. This is when most guys got out, or here. So if you got out around here, I would say if you sell it when it breaks the 821 day, you could try it around the 200 day or other spots. So anyway, I did buy some when it reclaimed this 124.13, and I've trimmed it. And this 128.50 is probably a spot that's going to be tough. And then now you have the 8 day at 130. So 128 to 130 is a spot to probably sell versus add. And now, if you're trading the range, where's Amazon right now? Amazon is, sorry, it's AZN. Amazon is, right into this 128.50-ish area. So let me see where the VTF is. Hold on. Yeah, so this is the VTF, so people could see the positions. I still have Amazon from yesterday, Meta from yesterday, INOQ from yesterday, and I sold my AMD just because I wanted to take something off into this area. I'm not in 10 positions. It's not a trending market. I'm not massaging them and making really good money like I did in the second quarter when you had like a 6 to 8 week, 10-week trend. This is just a 3-day oversold bounce. It's now going to have to prove that we could have a fourth quarter rally from these levels and see how the action goes. So either which way, it's 9/11. Ooh, 9/11. Always got to respect 9/11. We'll see what's next. If you're kicking yourself because you don't have Blue Apron, who would have known? People like, do you think that, it's crazy that I was taken out at $12? I'm like, well, look where this thing was.
95% discount to the IPO.
95% discount to the IPO, Phil just said. This was trading between 60 and 90. I remember the red dog reversal sell up here, and then when it lost the trend, and so if you happen to be dumpster diving and in this, you're getting a treat, but that's not the trade that's going to make you money consistently over time. But anyway, wow. That's what people wanted with Peloton. They wanted Peloton to get bought out by a Nike or someone, not a deal with Lulu. That's why Peloton did nothing. It opened up and came in. Meanwhile, wow. I remember when I was long that thing from like 40 up until 90. And then, again, people are like, oh, what could you have seen with Peloton? Just look at the weekly chart. Weekly charts tell you so many things. Right here, look at this trend during 2020. This is when we were buying it. I think I was still in there, and I got rid of it somewhere in here. And people were like, oh, why not go after it? I'm like, that's enough. Broke the 8 day, and then right here is really when everything changed. I was still at 101. And then look what happened when it broke this 81. Yes, it was painful to get out at 81 if you were in it, but do you think it's a little bit more painful at 490? Anyway, a lot of disasters out there. So, you know, if you have rules, chances are you might get some paper cuts, but you'll never be in a disaster. You know, disasters put you out of business. You know, stops hurt, but keep you in business to fight another day. So remember that. Either which way, I got to get ready for the rest of the session. I was pretty long overnight, so here are the cues. You know, responsibly. So I'm not going to overdo it today. I'd like to end on a positive note myself. It's been you know, not the easiest of months. You know, I talk to a lot of traders out there, and whether it's a family office managing, you know, 100 million trying to do asset allocation, you know, they've been beat up in gold, or they're beat up in credit, or then they're beat up in their hedges, and like, you know, and I talk to traders who've been trading for a long time like me. There's not a lot of us left, you know, and then no one's really killing it. So, you know, not that I need to commiserate, because as traders, you know, we want to take accountability, but if you have had a tricky quarter, okay, and I'll let you know, I did not make much money this quarter. Second quarter was awesome. This quarter was a little tricky. I was up a lot, and you know, even though I called the summer top with Liz Clayman on Fox Business, it still was hard at times. You know, brush it off, look back, see what you did wrong. Okay, look in the mirror, figure out how you did it wrong so you don't do it wrong again. And then it's a fourth quarter, man, girl, everyone. I don't know what I'm allowed to say anymore. Just put it together. You know, you get a few positive days in a row, they add up, and then a few weeks in a row, it really adds up. And then all of a sudden, you're swinging the bat harder, you know, and you're getting a great fourth quarter, so you can get a check and be happy going into the year end. Okay, new quarter, new you. Or it doesn't have to be a new you, just a better version of yourself. And the only way that's going to happen is if you really are honest with yourself on what you're doing wrong and how you need to make small changes to start doing it better. Anyway, don't sweat the small stuff. You know, life's too short. You know, go out and go for a run, use some fitness, things to make you think clearly so you can make the right choices in the right spots. Anyway, thanks, guys. I appreciate you. See you over the weekend, and you know, obviously a little bit later today. Thanks for tuning in.